Hello, Frederic Schuld. Welcome virtually in Montreal. You are the director of the Chimney Swift film from Germany. It's an animated documentary, and I will read the synopsis of the film, and then we'll go with our conversation.
Okay.
19th century in Europe. A child climbs up a chimney while a bird sails down into it to build a nest. An encounter without return. First thing I would like to know, so the film is made after a text, a testimony, which comes from the 19th century. Where does it come from? How did you find this text?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, thanks. I was reading about it, and then I found this book. I ordered it. It's hard to get. It's a very old book, and a woman, Kathleen Strange, she wrote it. There's a lot of facts about this climbing boys, the so-called climbing boys, right? The little chimney sweepers, forced to be in the chimney because they're the only ones who fit in this little hole, which is I think about a vinyl disc, like 12-inch. Yeah, very, very small flues. And so they used to be forced to go inside. And I read about this story, all the scientific backgrounds. And suddenly in this book, there was, like you mentioned, testimonies. That's right. It's like the master chimney sweepers, they were like talking. I'm not sure quite to whom they were talking, probably to the police or to some judge or journalists. But they were like originally transcribed in this book. And this is like super interesting. I found it because it was so, there's like a controversy inside. Yeah, there's this master who's telling about how he forced the boys and how he prepared the boys and how he did everything to bring them there, bring them up. And suddenly it switches and he's talking about, it seems like he's talking about himself, like that he used to be in the same situation. And then in the end, again, he tries to protect this method. And he's telling like, no, it's not so bad at all. And I think this was great document. And I thought immediately that I should do something with it and in terms of the film, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the situation which is described in the film is specific of the 19th century in England.
Yes.
But sometimes we use the past to comment on the present. So would you say that there is something in the film about our world today?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's also the reason why I do this film or why I did it. One thing, of course, is that there's a childhood memory that I used to remember in my grandparents' home. They had a home which was very old, and I remember a bird falling down this chimney when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And this was a great scene. They had the bird flapping around in the living room, and it stuck in my head, and I immediately connected those 2 points. And of course, I never saw anything like that, like this, the things I mentioned in the film, but it probably could have happened in the exact place. And this was interesting to me in that moment, that like I thought about this chimney way before my grandparents moved in. What happened in this place, right? And of course, it has a very, very actual meaning today, because there's still child labor in the world a lot. And of course, in Europe, in this Victorian era, especially, there was a lot of practice, like putting children there to clean it, even though there were already machines who could have done it. But they choose the children anyways because they did a better job, it seemed, which is absurd that you still choose it. And of course, this is a link to today, because when you buy a shoe or when you buy something, an electronic device, you still have a history of child labor, which happens right now, right here in this world. And this, of course, we left it open by saying that it was forbidden by law, but it continued anyways in other countries. And we didn't want to play it obvious, but of course, you should put the link to today,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. Your previous film, Carlotta's Face, is which you made 2 years ago. It's similar in a way because it's really short as well. I think it's 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes.
It's also built around a comment as a testimony, as is the Chimney Swift. I would like to invite you to say a few words about animation, documentary filmmaking. Do you think that animation is a good medium for documentary matters? Do you think that animation can bring us reality? What are your thoughts on animation documentaries?
Yeah, maybe not reality in a way like we are used to believe what it is, but I would call it a truth. Yeah, there's a truth you can tell, and you can find like a very common language for people, because you go so far away from the real image. And often, like in my 2 films now, I use this technique. I would say it's 2 topics where you can't find any good images. It's like face blindness. What will you tell about face blindness? Because it's a very personal issue and nobody knows what you see. And like the inside of a chimney and what a child went through while doing this, what are the thoughts of a child doing it, nobody knows. And there's no actual images from inside, no proof. It's always documents or pictures from outside. And the only thing I found was a very, very modern video of a professional master today who put a little camera inside to analyze how much dirt there's inside. And this video shocked us so much because there's no space to breathe. There's nothing inside it. And this was the moment where I thought like I need to use animation and this POV situation to really
claustrophobic and
yes, to make a comment about this, what I believe could have happened, because it's only one way of showing it, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe your question, like why documentaries and animation are working good together, I think it's a great medium for creating a material that can do something like that. Because no matter what I would have tried else, it would have not been the same. You know, I can put a camera inside and simulate something, but people wouldn't believe it. It's like, oh, it's just a camera, or it's just like make believe. You know, it's not. And I think for some reason with animation it works. The same with face blindness. I think it is way better than using video effects or doing. For some reason, people don't believe that, but they believe a very naive drawing. I don't know why, but it works, and I think I prefer it too. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You mentioned dirt, and this brings me to my next question. There is something in the aesthetic and style of the film which reminds us of Chimney Swift. Is it something that you had it in mind, like this desire to make us feel the dirt and the soot on the texture of the film?
Yes, exactly. That's the poisonous material. You won't believe how they did it back then. When you read the documents, they even went to bed for weeks with this soot on their skin. They were like totally black. The kids, they only had one towel, which was also the cover for sleeping. So it's like horrible. I didn't want to show more details in the film than I actually did. But when it comes to soot and also how much cancer it caused and way before you could cure any cancer, so you won't believe how many kids died in this soot. And so the soot is like really the anti-life material that what you could possibly imagine, and it needed to be in the film, of course.
And you were probably aware that the film should not be clean. I mean, it had like to be dirty in a way, to make us believe in what you say.
I saw a film the other day. It's called The Black Brothers. I think it's also dealing with this. It's a feature film. It's fiction based on a book, and it's dealing with this exact topic. And you mentioned clean, and I saw the scenes where they went inside the chimneys, and they were like pretty clean. They were like a little bit black on the walls, but the reality is it's stuck. It's really full of dirt. So it's centimeters of dirt, and you won't believe how dirty it is, and it's impossible to think about a person going there. So I think that was a statement I wanted to make.
Absolutely. My last question would be about your production company. So Fabian and Fred. So you are two colleagues working together. Fabian Drehorst is the producer of the Chimney Swift, and I see your names more and more often. So can you tell us what is the philosophy, the spirit of the production company?
Thanks for asking. We founded this company some years ago, the two of us, and now we are a little bit more people, and we have changing directors and authors. It's not only me making films. We have way more films and way more creative people than the two of us, and we like to support really the art house films more than the big commercial projects. Of course, we are working on those too, but we always try to combine it with this art house spirit and this very unique director's voice and author's voice. So mostly it's author-driven films. Documentaries we used to do long time before we even did animation. So we are really coming from a documentary point of view. And so this is why we especially like this format of animated documentary so much. And we are trying to grow right now. So we are developing some more features right now, but we will never lose, I guess, the shorts, because the shorts, we really believe that it's an art form and not only a vehicle to go somewhere. We really try to do shorts on a regular basis, the way we do.
Thank you very, very much, Frederic, for taking the time to have this discussion with us. Thanks for making the Chimney Swift. Is a very, very interesting film. I learned a lot when watching the film. We really hope to be able to welcome you in Montreal in the near future. Until then, stay safe. Say hello to Fabian.
I will.
And goodbye. See you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me in your great festival. And take care and say hello to the team.
Okay, bye-bye, Frederic.
Bye.